What's up, my YouTube page? It's me, V. It's Tuesday, August 17th, 8:52 in the morning. I am here in the office, and I'm going to continue the topic that I was discussing in the last video because I kind of just ended it abruptly because I was starting to get too emotional. I was starting to go too much in my feelings in my head, and I didn't want to do that because the point that I was trying to make was not merely the fact that healing is essential and in the processing of trauma, and we have to really focus on the aspect of healing in order for us to really live our life to the fullest and be our full, unique, authentic selves in our everyday lives. But it was more so for the fact that, well, for those of us that have children like myself, um, it's more so for the fact, or the point I was trying to make, so for that fact of like making sure you heal fully and adequately, is that if you don't do that and you think you're healed because you've dealt with it in a certain way that's adjusted to your own individual self-esteem and personality, based around that self-esteem and self-worth, then you're gonna carry that over to your children, you know, just as a byproduct of that, of not being healed fully. You're gonna behave in ways that mimics that trauma, like on the in certain ways, and they're gonna pick up on that, and they're gonna start behaving that way, or they're gonna, depending on the child's, it's gonna be an issue. So basically, the point I was trying to make is that we have to heal in order for that generational trauma to stop. We have to really look into ourselves and really try and heal. If not, if we think, oh, I'm fine, it doesn't hurt me anymore, it was a long time ago, whatever, we just think stuff like that, but then we're still, behaving in ways where we're not being true and genuine to ourselves. We're not, really considering our own well-being as well, just as much as everything and everybody else around us, or too much more than everybody and everything around us. Then we're gonna be fucked. Like, we're gonna fuck our kids, we're gonna fuck the next generation. We have to heal that. We have to really, like, focus and go inside and figure out what the issues are, and deal with them. Because if we don't, then that's just what's gonna happen. And like, even in my own personal life, that's been happening. Like, I know my daughter has anger issues because of me. Like, she gets very angry sometimes, and she's been dealing with it since she was in my belly. Like, she processed all of that while I was carrying her inside of me, even though she wasn't talking, didn't have her eyes open, and she wasn't, alive yet the way, we know what we know to be alive. She was still there, existing, and feeling everything, and processing that, and adapting herself to it. And that's what happens. They just adapt to it, and they lose track of their authentic selves in the process, just like we did when we were kids, and it just keeps on fucking going in a fucking never-ending merry-go-round. And it just needs to stop. I don't know why people can't understand this. Like, I try so hard to explain it to people, but they just, all they want to do is get offended and insulted because you're saying there's something wrong with them. Like, if you're trying to bring them down just because you feel down, and that's all they want to believe, is that you're just trying to bring them into your own fucking misery. And that's not the fucking case. It's just you're trying to open people's eyes and make them see and realize, and really, like, want to do something about it, so they can be happier and live better lives, and not be fucking the miserable assholes that they are, even though they think they're not. Because, I mean, let's be real, this whole fucking planet is assholes. Even if you're a really sweet, nice person, you know, that is never mean to anybody, and you just live your own life and you just try and do what's best, you know, you're still, you know, supporting war. You're still inadvertently, by paying your taxes, by supporting the system of corruption and and the military industrial complex that's out there, just like taking countries and, you know, doing all the things they do, by just ignoring all of that and just thinking, oh, whatever, it's not our problem. We're contributing, and we're being assholes in that sense, in my opinion, like, because you're refusing to open your eyes and acknowledge like what's going on and what is the reason why I'm not more upset about that, or why I don't feel inclined to like really take my responsibility in all of this, my part in all of this, because we are, each and every one of us Americans are complicit in it if we just, you know, go on being American and don't care about the fact that our country's out there fucking, you know, other countries. And like, oh man, I want to go off on another tangent right now, but that's not what this video is about, so I'm not gonna even mention that topic. But it's just, it's all related. Like, when people say that the inner world is reflected in the outside world, you know, they're not wrong. It's all related. Every single one of our parents and ancestors grew up in a certain environment, and they carried that environment on into their next generation. And that environment involves the political realm, the, you know, the economy, the country you live in. It involves all of those, all of those aspects, and they work into our brains, those aspects. They wire our brains, they configure them in order to have us live a certain way within that realm, whatever realm we're living in, whatever country, whatever state, whatever city, whatever religion, whatever. It's all programmed and wired into our brain, and that has an effect on our bodies and our lives and our thinking process. And if we, you know, just continue to go on and keep those wirings and wire our children that way, then all we're doing is continuing that. And that's why I'm saying, like, we're still assholes. Even if you're fucking nice and you help out everybody that you love around you in your life, you know, you're still not considering what you're doing to the rest of the world. And that's the point I try to make to people all the fucking time, but all they want to do is get mad at me and tell me that I'm a problematic person, and I'm fucking crazy, and I'm fucking unhinged, and I need help, and you know, they're not wrong in those aspects of those, you know, little assessments they're making based off of my emotional energy at the time or whatever. But, you know, I'm not wrong either.